And hopefully without any technical problems, we are back with you with the all-Lithuanian affair in Latvia, LTU, and Baltic Dragons getting us started, and LTU quite comfortably. First point on the board and picking it back up. Just as they left it off with the previous win so far. 1-0 over their compatriots Baltic Dragons, all playing in Riga, of course. Sorry, in Ogre, in Latvia. This disc, good pull, not fielded, and good read and a good defense. Looks like a bit of a discussion between the thrower and the defender and the marker, but no. The turnover will stand. There is going to be no call. Gauba picks up the disc. First pass to Globis. Back to Dovydas Gauba. Oof! Mendelis had to make the adjustment to snag the disc right in front of his defender. And this time, Dovydas Gauba for his brother into the end zone for 2-0. Hot start from the Lithuanians of LTU.
National team. Those are also tables. The Dragons. Mighty Dragons.
The Mighty Dragons so far are having some problems against their compatriots from LTU. And once again, yes, that stall count is getting pretty high. Kalinas now gets the disc, finds Birzhomskis on the near sideline. Swing to Kalinas, to Rindokas, back to Kalinas. Having a few problems and can't really find any space to get through. Oh, nice blade now to Birzhomskis, but that does not open up anything up. That looks like a bit of a junky look, defensive look from Dragons. Kalinas wide open for the reset. Oh, nice leading pass to Rindokas, but does not work out as Mendelis as a wing is peeling off. Picks it off. Globis now to Gauba. To another Gauba, to his brother, and that is into the end zone for Globis. LTU, 3-0 start over Baltic Dragons. Baltic Dragons still need to figure out which spaces are open, as it is an unconventional look indoor in terms of the defense. Usually zone defense is not as effective. However, yes, you can still close off and maybe confuse the offense a little bit, and that looks like exactly what LTU are managing to do here in the opening stages of the game. Like LTU staying with the same junky look, kind of zony. So Baltic Dragons finding some space to move the disc around, but Lankauskas now is the disc. Oh, goes back to Kalinas. Birzhomski is available for a reset. Back to Kalinas. Yeah, nothing is going through that zone. No options are open, so quite comfortable defense so far for LTU, and yeah, looks like they were just waiting for a mistake to happen, and that's kind of exactly what happened. Relatively easy reset was overly complicated, and yeah, that gave an opportunity for LTU. They don't need the second invitation. Another score, 4-0. Very hot start. LTU definitely feeling good here. Rindokas receiving the pull. Is LTU gonna stay with the same kind of defense? No, looks a little bit more personal. Still a little bit junky. Long shot goes. Mendelis a bit on a back foot. I think maybe was expecting Dovydas Gauba to switch and peel off, but yeah. Dragons are on the board. 4-1 so far in the game. Marius Rindokas to Liudvikas Velikis. Can Dragons get a break? Get this game a bit more exciting with the first few points on LTU side. Could be quite a tall task. It is the last game for both of these teams in the Baltic Indoor Ultimate Frisbee League, and Ričardas Zareckis, the president of the Lithuanian Flying Disc Federation, not only doing it off the field but also on the field, collecting a point for LTU. Kestutis Bačkis with the throw. Dragons going the other way. Yeah, still that switchy defense. Looks like LTU wants to get a few reps to figure that zoney look out. Rindokas swing to Kairis. A high disc for Kalinas, but holds on to it and manages to save possession so far. So far, Dragons quite a patient look. Berzonskis wants to send something in the end zone, but there are more LTU players there than the Dragon players. Kalinas, Rindokas going one way, another way. Oh, Dovydas Gauba got moved a little bit, almost opened the window, but no, still LTU holding their defense quite tightly. Kalinas with the disc. Got Lankauskas on the other side, but yeah, that disc would be flying quite a long time. Rindokas all alone, unmarked, plenty of time. Kalinas comes in. No stall count. They just want to keep them all the way back. Oh, Berzonskis now finding some space. And that's a little bit too close. I think that was a little bit too much, and that was a bit too much contact over there. I'll have a look at the replay. Yeah, I think he was in his trajectory as the LTU player jumped. So there's going to be a foul accepted. Lankauskas will retain possession. Globus will accept the foul. Lankauskas gonna stay with the disc. And LTU still with that junky zoney look, covering every advancing pass, so only the swings are available for Baltic Dragons so far. Kalinas unmarked lefty, and off the hand of the receiver. Yeah, looks like LTU are just not letting anything to go into the end zone, and looks like a out call has been called, so accepted by Globus. Turnover will stand. Dragons maybe need a bit more patience. They are actually working quite patiently with the disc and being quite careful with the options they are choosing. Lankauskas now getting a little bit closer to the end zone. Rindokas wanted the disc. Oh my! Oh, that is a bit too much contact, I would say. So foul probably going to be accepted immediately by Dovydas Gauba. Looked like a dangerous play to me, to be honest. So not something we would like to see. And Marius Rindokas in the end manages to hold on to the disc and to get the score over LTU. LTU, I think, electing to play that zone to maybe conserve the energy a little bit more, as it is a lot less running, and as the offense needs to do all the work here and find the right places and the right options. But yeah, still LTU, maybe with that zone and smart switches, having to conserve a little bit of energy, as it is the last game for them. And they only have 7 players available for the game. Bachkis with the disc. Bachkis goes with a flipper. And Mindaugas Mendelis obliges. Plucks it out of the air. And LTU tripling over their opponents, 6-2. Quite a slow-going game. .12 minutes have passed already. Rindokas receives the... Oh, Lankauskas almost a drop, but manages to recatch and retain the possession of the disc. Lankauskas to Kalinas. Kalinas unhappy about that as he receives the disc. Gives a bit of a look to his player. Oh, and yeah. Maybe a little bit too hot. Maybe also believed the defense a little bit too much there. But yeah, well covered there was Berzhansky's. Quite a difficult pass to receive. Oh, and that's Callahan for Baltic Dragons. Hopefully that will re-energize them a little bit. And Linas Lankauskas picks off a Callahan over LTU to make the score 3-6. Baltic Dragons need that energy. Hopefully they will be able to keep riding on it and maybe get another Callahan on the board. I'm sure that LTU would have a slightly different plan. Dovydas Gauba, high disc for Mendelis. Mendelis receives to another Gauba. Dovydas Gauba once again. And Modestas Gauba with the disc collects another point for LTU. Ever unfazed. Modestas Gauba ready to send the pull the other side. Rindokas with the disc. Everything seems to be covered until... Oof. Domantas Kalinas with a bit of a toe track, fancy footwork over his good friend Mindaugas Mendelis. despite playing on the different teams, I think they do have quite a lot of respect to each other. And we're looking at some warm-up routines for Martin Saulite on the sidelines, as Salaspils will be playing the next game. While the all-Lithuanian affair is for you on display on your screens for your pleasure. Baltic Dragons going with the pull. Dovydas Gauba throws an intercepted pass. Looks like a miscommunication with the intended receiver. I think that was Bachkis, but yeah, regardless. Yeah, looks like a bit of a mental fog going for LTU as they're getting a little bit tired. Oof, Bachkis holds on to possession and goes with a hammer to the end zone. Not sure who was that supposed to be, if that was for Gauba or for Mendelis, but Mendelis manages to save that. I think Mendelis was maybe yelling that it was for him, and he would have a better look at the disc because that was coming from all the way from behind of Modestas Gauba. Well communicated, well saved, and good work for LTU here, getting a hot start, 8-4, and calling that characteristic timeout just on the verge of the end of the first half, trying to get it and score it with a break. Off the timeout just before the end of the first half. Hopefully Baltic Dragons can extend that first half, and oh, that's a good pull. That's going to trap Baltic Dragons all the way in their own end zone in the coffin corner. Rindokas goes with the long shot to Lankauskas. Lankauskas, oof. I'm sure that his knees did not enjoy that kind of landing. And Lankauskas' imprecise pass to Rindokas, and LTU looking to close off the first half with a quick give and go between two Gauba brothers. Virbalas and Gauba. Quick 1-2, and Bachkis now the high disc for Virbalas, and Virbalas not able to hold on. That's a turnover from LTU. Baltic Dragons have another chance to extend the first half of this game. Domantas Kalinas finds his target. Linas Lankauskas is going to pick up that point. Dovydas Gauba not able to read it very well as the disc was coming from his back. So he tried, of course, to find it, but yeah, Linas Lankauskas knew exactly where the disc is going. Picks up the point for his team, and feeling quite comfortable about that. Baltic Dragons 5-8, trailing Lithuania, LTU from Lithuania. Of course, both teams are from Lithuania. Here in Ogrin Baltic Indoor Ultimate Frisbee League. Mindaugas Mendelis just shy of the end zone. Elevates, gets close to it. No, needs to go all the way back to Bachkis, to the middle portion of the field, and Modestas Gauba will be the scorer of the winning goal for the first half, 9-5. We will take a couple minutes break, and we will be back with you in a couple minutes. Second half, Baltic Dragons starting the second half of on the offense, and that offense is hitting the roof. An extra defender on the field. LTU going the other way. Virbalas to Mendelis for 10-5. Quick start of the second half, and that starts on with a break. Break for LTU, just as they started the first half with a very, very hot start of 4-0, if the memory serves me right. Dovydas Gauba ready with the pull. Sends the disc to the other side. Domantas Kalinas, first pass. Rindokas to Lankauskas. Lankauskas, good disc to Sidaras, and Sidaras for Lankauskas to the end zone. Baltic Dragons staying alive, 6-10, still trailing by 4 points. Quite a big deficit, being completely honest, but still doing well to be close in that game. Last game, as I've mentioned, for both of these teams. Oh, Dovydas Gauba, I think a bit of an unnecessary attempt to catch the pull, but still starts the offensive possession, probably wants to start it as quickly as possible. Richardas Zareckis with a hammer for Modestas Gauba. Richardas was almost celebrating it, but Modestas Gauba was not quite in the end zone, and Mindaugas Mendelis, what a grab. Let's have a look at that replay there. Oof, that is a dangerous pass. Good grab, though, in the end zone, and to the amazement of Arvids Žanis Karklinš over there, as you've seen his face in disbelief. Recovering from his injury, we wish you well, of course, and a speedy recovery after that unfortunate fall in the first day in the European Indoor Ultimate Championships. Oh, stall count was 6, but Baltic Dragons saving possession so far, keeping the possession alive quite well. Lankauskas with the disc. A bit of a travel, but Rindokas goes with one hand, but unfortunately drops it. And yes, once again, a good reaction there from Arvids Karklinš on the sidelines, watching the game. And LTU have an opportunity to double up once again on their opposition. Globis with the disc. On the far sideline with a blade to Dovydas Gauba, and Dovydas Gauba almost a no look, no think, just throw kind of pass. Pure chemistry in the LTU side. Globis, Džiugas Globis, picking up another point for them. 12-6. 15 minutes still available to play, but I'm sure that LTU would want to finish that a little bit quicker, while Baltic Dragons would want to extend, of course, that particular game for as long as possible by scoring, by keeping their offensive points clean and generating some break opportunities. Kalinas with the disc to Rindokas. Rindokas looking for options. Up the line for Beržanskis, and Beržanskis with a flipper and a scuba for a grab and a saved pass into the hands of Vilius Kairis, and quite a difficult grab. But looks like a travel was called on that. A much easier pass this time to Domantas Kalinas up the line, but in the end zone. For Baltic Dragons, but that save of possession by Vilius Kairis, very athletic play, not worried to put his body on the line for his teammates. And a saving grace, but then LTU with calling a travel, disc being sent back. Velikis with the pull. Gauba to Bajki's first pass, back to Gauba. And Mendelis doing the work for Lithuania. Mendelis, very athletic player, very quick, also gets up easily, and yeah, leaves his defenders in the dust very often. Even though I think he's in the Masters territory already, but still, yes, very athletic. Great fitness. And a very spirited player, in my personal opinion. Rindokas receiving the pull from LTU. Baltic Dragons surveying options, can't really find anything. Rindokas finally finds some space and gives a clean option. Lankauskas goes back to Rindokas. Some contact in the middle of the field, and a hammer goes. Was that in the end zone directly? No, not quite, but throws to Bajkis, very unfortunate. It looked to me that he was already in the end zone, but apparently not, as he did not call himself in. The game continues. LTU, Bajkis to Virbalas, to Dovydas Gauba. Oh, Globis unfortunately not able to hold on to it, a bit too high. Dovydas apologetic a little bit for that easy reset that should have been a lot easier. Rindokas to Lankauskas, to Beržanskis. Sidaras. Sidaras now can't really find any options, goes long Maybe it wasn't really necessary, as there would be some easier options, I'm sure. But Domantas Kalinas with a bit of a celebration there. Not a fan, but I somewhat agree. So yeah, good grab, good grab. Very athletic there over Džiugas Globis. I guess Džiugas Globis also, these calves and hamstrings are feeling that, not able to elevate as high for the disc. But of course, I think Kalinas was expecting that disc to come, so was in a slightly better position for the reception. Mendelis now. It's the disc. Can't really find anything. Asking someone to come back. Bachkis complies. Goes to the middle. Ooh. That was close for Oskaras Velikis, but yeah, maybe a bit of a jump and that would work out. But Modestas Gauba instead keeping the possession alive and getting another score for LTU. 14-8. Quite a large advantage for Lithuania in this game, but everything can change. Who knows? Maybe the mental and physical fatigue will get a bit better of them. Long shot goes for Dragons, and Lankauskas. Not even a jump needed, kind of a half jump, but still. Good point, good score. Lovely, lovely shot from coast to coast for Baltic Dragons. And apologies for some technical difficulties, as we've got some delay in the live scoring. If you are following on our scoreboard up there, but the correct score is 14 points to 9 for LTU. Sadly, we have possibly some connection problems, or maybe some platform problems with Alti. We will try to save and resubmit all of the possible scores for you. But for the moment, yes, the live scoring is a little bit off. Rindokas goes over the top. Oh, and Dovydas Gauba steps in front. Maybe through a little bit of a contact, but nothing major. The Gauba to Mendelis, back to Gauba. Dovydas Gauba moves through that quite comfortably, and some contact between Mendelis and Kalinas. But looks like there's gonna be... Was that gonna be a foul called? Looks like it. A foul has been accepted. If the foul is accepted, the disc should go to the intended receiver, as it was... Oh, there was a travel as well, all the way back from Bachkis. Oh, I think Kalina stepped in front of Mendelis to prevent the score. But Dovydas Gauba now continues with a pretty comfortable give and go, and over the top to his brother, too easy, and yeah, fancy move over the top to Lithuania. Apologies once again with a bit of a scoreboard problem on your streams. The correct score is 15 points to 9. LTU still in the lead, and now maybe can even get this game even closer to the finishing touches. Globis was requested to go in the end zone, obliges, but did not get the disc, and Dovydas Gauba to Mindaugas Mendelis would get us a little bit closer to the end of the game, and Lithuania staying ahead. LTU of Lithuania are staying ahead over their compatriots of Baltic Dragons. Baltic Dragons looking for another point. Berzhanskis with the disc. Berzhanskis swing. Oh, and another one. Looks like a foul will be called. Accepted foul by Mindaugas Mendelis. Rindokas was going there, and I think the contact was made with his hand. And quite an unfortunate one. Kalinas just on the doorstep. Gets a bit of a contact from the mark. Bit of a bump, goes all the way to Lankauskas. Swing, another one. Rindokas to Berzhanskis. Berzhansky needs an option. Oh, Rindokas chases the disc. Goes up the line to Kairis, and Kairis to the end zone for Marius Rindokas. (9-16) is the score. Ooh, quite a clean defense from LTU. From Dragons, excuse me. Thank you, Arvids. As yes, LTU was looking to finish this game. Long shot goes to Gauba, but Gauba not able to hold on to the disc, and with the defender going through. Baltic Dragons are looking for the first break opportunity, and that's unfortunately falls through the hands of Marius Rindokas, and yeah, that first break is eluding Baltic Dragons. LTU, another opportunity to finish this game before the time ends. Globis with the disc, gets it to Gauba. Gauba, high stall count, goes deep. But pressure from Domantas Kalinas gets better of his compatriot, and that's an opportunity. Oh, and that's defended, tipped, but not quite. Dragons are staying with the disc. Kalinas. Oh, had Rindokas available, but no, not that option is not taken. And is that going to be recaught? Oh, and with a bit of a roll and the showmanship, Ludvikas Velikis will collect the first break, and what a celebration. 11-16. LTU. It's still going to be a game to 17, regardless of what's happening with the time. But Baltic Dragons, if they want to stay alive in this game, they need to keep scoring. They need to score quite a lot of points in a row. Hopefully, for them, they will be able to, but LTU would probably have other plans. Oh, Virbalas was asking for that disc. Gauba complied, but Virbalas unfortunately drops that. And that doesn't work, sadly, for Lithuania, for LTU. Baltic Dragons, possibly another break. Lankauskas goes to Kalinas, who makes a bit of a jig. And Kalinas once again, quick move as the time is running out. And that would be a game as the game is over, as the buzzer started sounding just before the disc was caught. That would be my perspective on that, and yes, the game is over. Baltic Dragons do agree on that, and 17 points for LTU. Thank you all for listening. We've got one more game for you. One of the most exciting games of the tournament, probably. The two Latvian nemesis are going to take on each other once again. It's going to be Ventspils against Salaspils. Stay with us and connect in just a couple minutes.